Hello there folks, my name is Spoonks and welcome back to another episode of Box Office Chat. This is the show where I break down the top 5 domestic box office results, see where each movie landed, and see how well each movie did. So let's get started. Number 5 was The Bad Guys 2, making $5.1 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $66 million and its worldwide total to $149 million. So The Bad Guys 2 continues to hold well. It's still maintaining its core audience. People still encouraging others to go check it out despite schools being back up in session, and compared to the first one it's still practically identical to it. It's just like $300,000 behind where the first movie was at this point. So again, consistency, it's key. It's probably just gonna end up a bit shy of like maybe around 2 million, maybe around where the first film ended up domestically, but if it can keep doing at the rates going, I think it can surpass it slightly, but it's still an increase is an increase after all. And worldwide, this movie is still doing pretty well for itself. It just hit Italy and it's still doing very well in China. It's about to surpass the $150 million milestone. It should get to $200 million if all goes well. It still has to release in Germany and Australia pretty soon, so we'll see how those countries boost up the totals. Yeah, again, not much more else to say here. The movie's still like on the right track. There's just not much more else to say here. It's doing fine for itself. Again, it would have been better had we seen like an increase or something like that here, but again, doing on par with the first one isn't so bad either way. It's still a pretty solid performance, especially compared to the other animated movies that have come out this summer. It's still gonna be by and large the biggest animated film of the summer, you know. So yeah, still a pretty solid performance for The Bad Guys 2. Number 4 was Fantastic Four: First Steps, making $6 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $257 million and its worldwide total to $490 million. So it seems the worst is behind us for the film. The movie had another solid hold, just dropping 33%. Really solid hold. Maybe it's a lack of other more interesting movies out right now, or maybe it's just the people really wanted to see something to this scale right now. But yeah, this is good for the film in terms of its late legs. It's finally starting to show a bit of staying power again. It was the last like big summer movie, and seeing as how the summer's winding down, I think some people just want to check out something to this scale, and this is pretty much the most recent one, since I'm sure a lot of people have already seen Superman and Jurassic World by this point. So I think some people might be trying to catch up with Fantastic Four. Because of that, it is about to surpass How to Train Your Dragon to become the 4th biggest film of the summer, and I think that's just the right spot for this film. I think and it's probably going to be the last spot it moves towards. I don't see the surpassing Jurassic World. And on the worldwide side of things, it's about to surpass the $500 million milestone, which is impressive. That's still like a lot of money, but again, the movie was really, really expensive, so it may not be as glamorous as we once thought it would. So yeah, the movie's slowly but surely climbing itself out of the rubble. It went from like a huge disappointment to like a bit of an underperformer, I think is the best way we can describe it. You know, kind of like what happened with the past couple of other MCU movies. They didn't flop, they didn't bomb, but they didn't really do much to shake things up at the box office, and they certainly didn't meet expectations. But hey, you know, this movie's showing legs finally. Number 3 was Freakier Friday, making $8.8 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $70 million and its worldwide total to $113 million. So the movie had a family movie hold, just dropping 38%. I think that's how this movie's going to play out throughout the rest of the theatrical run, less like a comedy and more just like a typical family movie. Compared to Bad Guys 2, this is just the one that has the more eyes on it, and the word of mouth seems to be a lot stronger with here. Again, I think the marketing just was a bit more prevalent and got more people curious to see this movie, and it's reaping the rewards of it as it has surpassed the $100 million milestone worldwide, and on the domestic side it's just $30 million away from surpassing it. I am still curious to see how this movie will do compared to the first one, because it is improving domestically and internationally. It's already just like $8 million away from surpassing the international total of the first film, and domestically it's not too far off. It's still $4 million away from where the first film was at this point, which is really impressive to see. So we'll see how much more gas is left in the tank, but I think because, being the top family movie out right now and the strong word of mouth and reception it's received, I think this will continue to do really well. Yeah, not much more else to say with Freakier Friday. I think this is going to continue to do pretty solid. Number 2 was Weapons, making $15 million this weekend, bringing its domestic total to $115 million and its worldwide total to $199 million. It continued to have a stellar hold this weekend, only dropping 37%, which is exceptional for a horror movie in its third weekend. Usually you'd see, okay, the movie's starting to tumble a bit, but no, the movie's been maintaining the grasp it's had on a lot of people. The word of mouth is really catching on, and a lot of people are in the mood to go and check this out. This really is the horror movie of the moment, and not only that, but it's also surpassed the $100 million milestone domestically and worldwide, and it's on its way to 200 million worldwide, which I don't think anyone was expecting this movie to do, which is crazy. Not only that, but also domestically, it's about to surpass Final Destination Bloodline's entire domestic run, which I also did not see coming, which is crazy to see. Again, we're in this movie's third weekend and we're already seeing these milestones and seeing it about to surpass a couple of the other big horror movies that came out this year. It's really been exceptional and really strong to see how well this movie has done thus far. The fact that this movie was able to bring out this type of audience and make this amount of money is really swell to see, and it's only going to get higher from here. Again, folks, we're on this movie's third weekend. If this was like the final total, it would have been astonishing, but again, the movie has just really become this juggernaut of success. We're past like sleeper hit status. This is truly the big surprise of the summer, and I couldn't be happier to see it happen to this movie. So yeah, another solid weekend for Weapons. We'll see how much higher this movie can go, but man, things are still looking bright for it. And finally, let's end the video off with the number 1 movie of the weekend, which was K-pop Demon Hunters, which made $19 million in its 2-day theatrical run this weekend domestically. There are no actuals. We're going off by estimates with these numbers, and as far as worldwide numbers, again, it's only estimates, but some are saying it made around 4 to 5 million internationally, so the total should be worldwide total should be $24 million. But still though, this is an exceptional performance for this movie. Again, this was only shown in theaters for 2 days. They didn't really plan for it to be as wide or as big as it was. Again, most theaters were initially going to show it twice a day, but due to the popular demand and the amount of people who wanted to go and see this movie, they expanded the amount of showings it got, the number of theaters it got, and we went from 300 sold out showings to 1,000 sold out showings. This was the movie to see this weekend, and it's been the movie of the summer. As you can already imagine, the songs have been topping the charts, the cosplay, the fan art. Oh my god, it's been everywhere. People can't get enough of this movie, so it made total sense why they decided to do it this weekend, and I couldn't be more happy to see the movie reaping the success on top of the already momentous success it has reached on Netflix. Again, the fact that this movie that's been streaming on Netflix for 2 months now is now the #1 movie in America. That is insane, and it's wonderful to see, and I definitely think it's a wake-up call for both parties. One, Sony, it's another reminder that they lost out big selling this to Netflix, and they need to put their foot down for the sequels to ensure they get a theatrical release, because Sony, they're not gonna try to mess this up again. This was just a big slap in the face on their part, but also it's definitely a wake-up call to Netflix, as this shows that if you bring out the bright movie and it does the strong numbers, people will be willing to go and check it out at the theater. We saw it with Glass Onion, and this is just doubled that. Again, it's doubled that in 2 days, when that movie was just in a smaller number of theaters, and it was in theaters for I think 5 days over the Thanksgiving holiday. This, again, just 2 days late in the summer, and it's doubled what that movie did, or at least increased what that movie did. So yeah, I definitely think it's a wake-up call. I don't think they're gonna learn the right lessons from this, that it's still Netflix. They aren't run by the brightest bulbs in the bunch, but I definitely think they're gonna take notes on this for sure. It definitely does seem like they're taking notes on the film's success, and yeah, this is still like really been a fantastic run to follow. This movie, the little movie that could, it went from just having a standard Netflix release to becoming, again, the biggest movie, one of the biggest movies on Netflix. It's the second most watched film on the streaming service. It needs like 20 million more to surpass Red Notice, and now it's the #1 movie in America. Estimated. Netflix is still not reporting official numbers, but hey, well, I'll take what I can get. This is still hugely successful. I'm very glad to see this movie bring out the crowd it did, and yeah, really, really strong performance for K-pop Demon Hunters. And those were your top 5 domestic box office results for this weekend, and normally this would be the part of the video where I discuss the upcoming new wide releases and seeing where I think they would land in the top 5. And while we've got a number of new movies hitting theaters this weekend, Toxic Avenger, The Roses, Caught Stealing, I don't think they're going to leave a big impression on the box office. I haven't seen too much marketing or buzz for any of the movies here. I'm sure one of them will surprise and take the #1 spot. I mean, obviously, K-pop Demon Hunters is not going to be in theaters for that long. And maybe one of them becomes another big surprise, but I have my doubts. Again, I'm just not seeing a lot of interest for any of the films. Again, I've been wrong before, but I just feel like it's going to be another one of those slower weekends we've been seeing thus far. It truly is the dog days of the summer right now. But we'll see how well those movies truly do, as well as the rest of the movies that landed in the top 5 on the next Box Office Chat. And that's going to do it for this week's episode of Box Office Chat. What did you all think of the results? Were you satisfied, unsatisfied? Comment down below and let me know. If you like this video, hit the like button. If you like this channel, hit the subscribe button. Follow me on all those social media links right there. And until next time, everyone, stay sharp.